Welcome back to Lesson 5 of the Java tutorial series, and today we're going to be talking about hash maps and array lists. So hash maps and array lists are two different types of Java data structures which can help simplify much workflow, especially if you're working with data science and other data structures such as algorithms and many other applications. So let's take a look at how we can learn how to use these array lists and hash maps. So let's go head on over to Eclipse here. So let me just close out. All right. So right here we are in Eclipse, and just as a review, we have this primitive array here, which isn't any of this import here. We'll get to this later, but this is your primitive array, and the reason why I want to show you this is because I want to show you the differences between an array list and an array. Now they're very different, as an array list has the keyword list here. The array list is actually a dynamic list, which is very different from a array. So here we have an array with all the digits. Technically we are missing 0, so let's add that. So we can create an array like this with the constructor with 2 brackets, and then you name your array like so, and then you define your array. You can also do another array by doing this. For example, let's do int digits, and then let's do digits a, new int, and then you can put 10. That will be the size of the array. So that will also work. But primitive arrays are not for the better, and that is why we are going to use array list from now on, as it is proven to be a much better alternative to a primitive array. But just so that you know, Java does support primitive arrays, and this is how you do it. So now you see I have this commented here is I am going to teach you a new method. It's called the for each loop. So we learned about for loops before, but the for each loop really helps simplify how things work. We'll try it on this array here, and then we're going to try it on the array list later, just to see how the for each loop is way better than the normal for loop. So let's see here. Do for loop, and then we can do our index, and then a colon, and then you put the array on the second parameter, so like so. And then we do system dot out dot print line, and then we want to print this is the exact same thing, and you guessed it, it will print everything out of digits. So let's run this and give it a second. And would you look at that? All the digits of the array. So that is the for each loop. Very, very useful. Again, this is the syntax, and it does exactly what you expected it to do. And yeah, so that is the array. Now here's the flaw with the array, which is that it cannot be manipulated. So you can't add anything to the array. You can't do so that's the problem with the array, is because most data manipulation requires adding or removing stuff. But nope, you can't. This is a fixed size. Once you have 10 10 values, you must replace it with either a null value or just zeros, which is obviously inefficient. So we are going to use the array list. So the array list, as you can see up here, is imported with java.utility or util.ArrayList. So that is how you import it, and this is the line you are going to import. Just write that on the top. Make sure you spell it correctly, because if you don't, they will give you an error, because obviously that library does not exist. And we will import the hash map. We'll talk about later. Anyways, so let's do the array list first. So let's clear this out, because we don't need those primitive arrays. We are civilized. We use array list. All right. So here's how we construct the array list. Now this is getting into classes, which is gonna be episode 7, I believe. So we're gonna have one more episode on data structures before the classes. But I'll introduce you to the classes. So we want to create an array list by typing array list, and then this little bracket symbol like that, and then we want to populate the array list with whatever primitive or non-primitive data type we want. So again, the primitive data types are integer, character, what else? Double, those are the primitive data types. But we can also populate with stuff like string, so that will work too. So let's just do string, because string isn't a primitive data type, but it still works. And then we will name our array list. So in this case, we can just name our array list cars, because why not? So we will just name it cars, and then we're going to construct it by using the new keyword, which we'll talk about in episode 7 when we do classes and objects. So new keyword, we do new array list, copy the beginning string, and then that like that. That is how you construct an array list. Now currently the array list has nothing inside it, and of course because we just created it. So let's add some things in here. Now this is what I like about the array list. It's because it's just easy access API. Look at this. I'm just gonna copy this prefab here, but if we take a look, this is really self-explanatory. You have the array list dot add, and you want to add whatever you want in there. So that's pretty much it. So now we do system.out.print line, and we want to print the array list out. So we just do cars like that, and then we press run, and we'll do like that. Very simple. No extra necessary stuff required. And the good part is you can add stuff to the array. Not only you can add stuff, you can also subtract stuff. So take a look. Let's, for example, this car assembly line does not want to put how do you say it? Manufacture a Ford. So we want to remove Ford from the array list. So we want to do it's just that simple. I want to just remove Ford, just like that. And then, as you can see on the bottom, Ford has disappeared from the array list, and now it's just Volvo, BMW, and Mazda. So that's pretty much how it works. You can also remove it from the index. So let's remove 0, which will remove Volvo, or we can remove 1, which will remove the BMW. So let's do that. Once we press run, BMW should be gone. So yep, if you look at that, no BMW here. So that is remove and adding. Very, very simple. But now we can actually take a look at another all-in-one package, which is the clear function. So we want to do cars.clear. All this does is it clears everything, wipes everything from the array list. So let's run it. And when you look at that, at the beginning we have all the cars, and at the end all the cars are gone. So as you can see, right off the bat, the array list is way more versatile than the primitive array, which is why I personally will use it over array in any circumstance unless not permitted, which there are some exceptions. We always have exceptions, but so that is the array list. Now we can also get a value, because we don't want to always add and subtract stuff. We just want to know what's in a certain spot. So we can, instead of doing that, let's delete this, and we want to get the value at 1. So again, it should be BMW. It will just return BMW because that's the string that we want to get. So if you look at that, there we go, BMW. So that is what we're going to do. Now we can change stuff by using the set method. So we want to just change this to set, and we want to set 1, which is BMW. We're going to replace it with Honda. So a new car, actually string, my bad, Honda. And actually we should probably put this up here and then print cars. That way we can have like that. Just run that, and boom, we have Volvo, Honda, Ford, and Mazda. BMW has been replaced. So very, very, very easy stuff. And back to the for each method. Just want to have a side-by-side comparison of the for each method. We have the for each method. Let's get the for each method here. So we have for int I in cars, and let's print I. So we're gonna print all the cars one by one, like that. So this is the equivalent. Hang on, give me a second. String. Yes, sorry, string. There we go. For string I in cars, just to give you a comparison on how how good the for each loop is. This is the exact. Actually, give me a second. We're not gonna print I. We're gonna print cars dot get I. Yes, because we want to get it from cars, not But so just to show you the power, or we can do I. Let's just do I, because I want to really show you how much you can compress this into one line of code. So this, for example, is your regular for loop, which I am going to copy over. And these do exactly the same thing. You can see we have from I equals 0, I less than cars.size, which is another array list function. We loop through everything, and then we have to do this cars.get. With this, everything's gone. Why would you do this instead of this? You see, that's the power of for each loop, and that is the reason why I would go with this rather than this. Obviously, there are exceptions with this. There might be sometimes you have to use this, but I don't see a reason why otherwise. But that is pretty much array list for you. So we have the for each loop. That should be a very good skill to acquire. You learn how to set values, get values, remove values, add values, and all of that good stuff. And now let's move on to HashMap. So HashMap is a different type of data structure that's completely different from ArrayLists, but similar in their own ways. So we want to do HashMap, and this time we can define pairs of values. It's pretty much ArrayList with pairs. So it consists of a key and a value. So the key is used to access the value, kind of like a phone book. And in fact, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to create a phone book. So we're going to define this. Your phone number should be an integer value, and your name should be a string. So like that. Phone book equals new HashMap. And then we type the same thing. Integer, string, like so. Construct the new HashMap phone book. And then we can actually add stuff to the HashMap. So that is your phone book HashMap. So to do that, also very simple. We just do phone book dot put, and then we want to do 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be the phone book, the phone number of John. And we can put another phone book. We can do let's see here. We can do 4, 5, 6, 7. That would be the phone number of Jane. You can see where this is going. Let's just add a few more. We can do like so. And then we can change this to Jack. So we have 3 people which are in the phone book currently. And we can just do 8900. There you go. It doesn't have to be a certain number. You can any integer will work, but I'll just do 8900. And this is a phone book, so we can use that. Now, when we try to get, we can get either their phone number or their name. So here's how we do it. So let's print out their phone number. So again, we're printing out their phone number. So we just do phone book dot get. All right, let's see. I wonder why Jack is blacked out. I'm not sure. Probably some issue with Eclipse. but there shouldn't be no error. So we do phonebook.get, and then we want to do Jane's phone number, which should output 4567. It says unlikely argument type, but because you usually wouldn't get the key from the value, you wouldn't really do that, but it should work. Okay, never mind. It does not work. Get only works with keys, so we have to change that so that we have to get the name of the person from 4567. So it only works with keys. Ignore what I said. Please don't take on me on that. But we get the key. So now it should return Jane. And yep, Jane. So, yep, it only works with the key. So remember that. And you can also add an item. You can also remove an item. Or you can also clear an item using the clear. So here we can also use our trusty dandy for each loop here. Where's our for each loop? Alright, so we can print everything in here. So it should print all of this in the for each loop, but with a special twist. So we have integer I because that's that's your phone book, the phone numbers, and we can do this by doing for integer I, get the colon. Then we do phone book dot key set. This way, it will allow us to print every single. It will allow us to print every single phone book address and phone book name. So all we have to do is we just do I, like that, and we run it. And as you can see, it prints out all the phone numbers for you. And we can do string I. This, instead of getting all the phone numbers, hang on. Sorry, we still use integer I, but if you want to get the names, I believe you do phonebook.get I. Yeah, that's how you do it. Totally. See, I'm not wrong. Yeah, that's how you do phonebook.get I to get the key, value. Without this, you get the key. So that is pretty much the hash map. So as you can see, a hash map is kind of like a map. You have your location marker, all of that, but it's actually just an array. A dictionary in Python. So that's your hash map. Now there's one more thing I want to talk about for the array list, which is sorting the array list. Because instead of sorting it yourself, why not make the computer do it? So right now we're gonna sort this car's array list in alphabetical order. So we can check with that by, it's actually a pretty good competition problem, but we can check by using primitive array, because we wouldn't need to alter this array, but we will use this primitive array, or we can just do the primitive character array, and we do alphabet, and then we set it to a we set it to 26. So we have all the alphabet, and then we match each one of the first letters of the car names, and then we want to see which precedes the other. But that's complicated. We have a library to do just that. So again, we want to go on the top and want to import java.utility.collections. Maybe capital C. There we go. Yep, just like that. We want to do collections, and then we want to sort our cart. It's very, very simple. We just do collections.sort, and it just works like that. It just works like magic. Not really magic, But if we open this, it's compiled somewhere within the library. I don't want to look at it today, but definitely there's some code going behind there. But it will just do this for us so that we can maximize other stuff. And then we just have this, nice, lovely for each loop, and now it will print everything in alphabetical order. I don't know, but the order to me is Volvo, BMW, Ford, Mazda, and then when we sort it, Ford's at the top, proceed to H, Mazda, and Volvo. Now, here's the deal. You see that BMW's gone. Why? Because we did the cars.set Honda. So don't forget about that. You got to keep track of your code. If you forget, just type change BMW to Honda. Add comments, because if you don't miss that, you might forget that you changed the first order. So that is how you do alphabetical stuff. And just to prove that it also works on numbers, this collections.sort thing, pretty useful. So we can also do integer, and then we'll do random numbers. Let's do a integer array list. I'll do new array list, integer, and then we gotta construct it. Again, we will talk about constructors in object-oriented programming, which is pretty much having it at level 7, but I mean not level 7, lesson 7, but we will get to it at the end of lesson 6 by talking enumerations. But that's next time. Whoops, let me just get some data here. Let's just get some data. And that should do enough. Let me just quickly fix this. My numbers, replace it with num. There we go. And now, when we do the collections.sort, so we do collection.sort, and we want to sort the number, and then we want to just borrow this for loop. But instead, we want to change this to integer. We want to do it to num. This should now print, 8, 12, 15, 20, so on. And when we run it, of course, it prints that first, but 8, 12, 15, 20, 30, 34. Again, I see that as least to greatest and alphabetical order. So, collection sort, very useful thing. Of course, you can write your own sorting algorithm. Again, especially with the numbers, it's easier than the alphabet, but what you want to do is you want to sort it with, in fact, I can pull up some of the sorting algorithms here in my algorithms library that I just have on standby because I was using it for another project. But we have many sorting algorithms. For example, if we take a look at this is a bubble sort. If you want to see the behind the scenes, this is pretty much how you do it. Bubble sort is this whole thing. You want to take the array and then it's sorted and then return the results. Insertion sort, same thing, just different time complexity. Again, insertion sort is faster. I believe insertion sort is just a little bit faster than bubble sort. Merge sort, again, lots of complicated stuff that I wrote. But that's the algorithms library. If you want to download this library, you can go to the link in the description to download this library. Currently, it's a work in progress, so I don't know why you want to download it. But if I were you, I would just stick to collections.sort, and that would get the job done. So yeah, so today you learn about hash maps, array lists, and collections. Not all of it, but just the sort function. So that is pretty much it for today's video. A little bit long. Again, it's only gonna get longer from here because we're getting into some serious stuff. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe. By subscribing, you can get the latest notification on future videos I release if you enjoyed this content, and I'll see you in the next time.